I do apologise. I was live, but it didn't pick up the ERF channel initially. It should now have done so. I'm just going to double check. Yes, no, it hasn't picked up the ERF channel. Why is it not picking up the ERF channel? Oh, it is. It has finally done it. Yeah, for some very strange reason, it wasn't picking up the ERF channel. It kept feeding back that we were already live, but we weren't. It was round 8 that was live. Okay. So my really intelligently made funny joke went by the wayside at the beginning. Right, so here we are, and I do apologise. I don't know what happened, but we will get there. Right, so Parolin leads the way. 4 seconds clear. A lot has happened overnight. A lot has happened because when I left, we had the RA team, which consists of RA Nick, who's in second, were over a minute clear. Now, we do know that the rain came in during stint 7. And it all went horribly wrong for some drivers who opted not to go for the wet weather tyres. Now this is how we stand. Ready to Race team have improved their lot somewhat, and Parolin now leading the way for the 666 number of the beast car. RA Nick, he's for the Race Asylum team, is 3.4 seconds back, and it looks like already closing that gap. I believe so. I'm having significant technical issues at the moment. What the hell is going on? Oh, that's better. Right. I do apologise. I don't know what's been going on with the technical issues, but we're here. We're done. We're ready. Yeah. Blame it on the fact that it is 10 past 7 in the morning, and yeah, I haven't had very much sleep. Right, there we go. So Stiggs running in third, 14.2 seconds back. That is that's the Clockwork Motorsports car, I do believe. It is indeed. That's the 56 Clockworks Motorsport running in third. Nilsman. That's the TDR design car, the lead TDR design car. Now, when I went asleep, it was the number 17 TDR design car. Now, the number 16 car, the BMW, is the lead of those two cars. Currently running in fourth. Jefferson of the 68 GTSV car, currently in fifth. 5 seconds back is Bad Omen in that awesome Team MRL M6. Waiting for more to exit. Still waiting for In-Station Gaming for Team Full Send. They will be next out on track, of course. But already some distance behind the leaders. Very spread out. Now I'm wondering what level of impact the rain had on the race, because as I can see it, it looks like the rain absolutely changed things massively. But we'll see. We will see what happens. So at the moment, Parolin is leading the way. It is 0.3 of a second. Nick has shut down that gap so quickly. It was significant. Not tiny, not massive to say, but significant. The gap that Roadrunner had built up over the RA driver in that last stint. But here comes RA Nick, super quick. We know that is Nick, and ahead he goes and makes that move on Parolin with the slipstream, and order is restored from when I was in the booth earlier. Now Nick is back in the lead of this race. There's Parolin. Parolin having another go back. He's got the slipstream, so certainly opportunity, but he gives Nick a little bump instead. A little bumpy bump up the road to help him out, rather than do what I thought he would do, which is take that position back. So awesome. Some awesome racing to start off with. It's always good to have some sort of racing to watch, because everyone else seems very, very disjointed. Sorry, getting my coffee on board. It is breakfast time after all, and we will bring you some jazz. No, we won't. No, we won't. Okay, Stigs for... it's pretty cool, that super dry car, isn't it? Really cool, that super dry car. So that's Stigs running in the 56 Clockwork Motorsport car in third. They weren't really there or thereabouts earlier, but they certainly are now. Well, they were absolutely there. They're kind of stuck in it. This is the big difference. So the Ready to Race team have incredibly improved their lot. I mean, they're massively better off than they were when I left you. Nielsmann in the Team TDR M6, that number 16 car, up to fourth place. Jefferson for GTSV and that's the 68 GTSV, not the 67. You can't confuse the two. Very different. Cars identical. Running in fifth at the moment, and that's 2 minutes outside the top four. So the gap now, I mean, the top four pretty much in the same sector for, give or take 30 seconds. But then Jefferson back there, 2 minutes back, completely different part of the racetrack. Bad Omen now out on track 4 in that 33 MRL M6, running in 6th position. Some way, well, I think some ways, 9 seconds, 9.7 behind Jefferson. Next car to come out will be End Station Gaming at some stage, I hope. Will it be End Station Gaming? I don't actually know. I'm not watching the other broadcast. It probably would have been useful if I'd done that, but I can't link the two things together. I was already having enough technical problems of my own. Went out trying to factor in the PlayStation chat into a broadcast. Don't like using PlayStation chat in a broadcast. Also because I can't use a mic. Well, I can use a mic for two different things, but it gives me ridiculous feedback. Mostly like, shut up, you're fat, and stop talking rubbish. No, not that kind of feedback, obviously. So just 6 cars out on track at the moment, and Bad Omen is the last one of those. We're still waiting for so many cars to get out. Now, very surprised. Good to see Dominic Kubinski. He is also in an invitational series I broadcast on Monday. He's pretty darn quick in that. He's in that Linkin Park inspired pink 911 RSR for Project Revolution. Clearly he is coming in for somebody else because he's not on the list. Otherwise I would have noticed. Gecko Racer in that absolutely stunning TDR designed AMG number 17 car. Some way back from where they were during stint 6, they were in the top 4 comfortably in that top, well, in fact top 3 comfortably. So something went horribly wrong through the night for them. Honor in the green 911. That is the team that had pulled out because they had some technical issues. Have returned to run some stints. They'll be at the back of the pack, of course. Well, I don't know. They might not be. They might have fought their way forward. Another 911 there. That is that the other GTSV car? No, it's not. That's the CPTL car with it had grounded potato in it, but now it's Poctavian running in there. Toro Scatanetto for DCT. I know it's DCT because 1, he's Italian, and 2, he's got DCT around the back of the car. And of course, I'm quite familiar with these guys. Midgley. I don't know why I got it wrong. I had him for like 2 hours earlier. That is the other GTSV car. Endurance Racing Team. Currently sitting P13, but I don't know where he's coming out. Still waiting for more cars to come out. This is very, very surreal. The gap seems massive little bit concerned about these gaps, boys. Do we need a little bit of a safety car scenario? Is someone going to give us a little crashy crash so we can have some safety car nonsense? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Need some safety car nonsense. Definitely. So, yeah, sorry, anyone that's watched me broadcast before knows I can't multitask. I was trying to read and broadcast at the same time, and clearly I can't do that. So, I won't. Still waiting for the majority of the cars to come out. We've only had the top 6 out thus far. Now, this just shows how big the gap has got over the nighttime period, because Nick and Parolin and Stiggs and Nilsman, Jefferson, Bad Omen, all on lap 3, essentially the second racing lap. Now, Nick and Parolin, and Nick's already 13 seconds clear of Parolin. We saw him overtake him a little while ago. He's already 13 seconds clear. They're already heading down to that final straight, that final rundown to the stadium, to take it back to the sort of GB track stadium section on lap 3. They could be on lap 4, and we're still waiting for some of the cars to get going. So it looks to me that throughout the night, the rain. So it wasn't super close, but it was a few minutes apart, 20 minutes apart maybe, when I was here at stint 6, and then I know the rain came down shortly after that in stint 7, and we had some crashes, but it looks to me that some disconnections and stuff have happened, and all manner of craziness has gone on throughout the last couple of hours, and we're now with in a very unique position of cars already 4 laps in, and some cars not even on the racetrack yet. And what I need is you crazy people to come and join me in chat. To come and join me in chat and let me know what the hell is going on. Had some insane technical issues earlier. For some reason the ERF channel wasn't recognising my broadcast, but it is done now. And that's the first proper hot lap from anybody today. And straight out of the bat, Nick puts in a 7:58.8. It's just insane. There was me pushing Clarkey on in stint 6. He was chucking out, and it was the middle of the night to be fair, chucking out the 8-minute laps, and then all of a sudden, boom shanker. There goes Nick with 7:58.8. I'll tell you what I do need to do, because people are probably going to try and find the other broadcast that didn't go live for whatever reason it didn't work. I should delete that, and then people aren't going to try and watch it. Oh, no, it's coming live. There we go. I'm getting very varying information on my screen at the moment. It's a little bit cray-cray. Right, here we go. Bring up, there we go. I'm getting all the chat now. Finally getting all the chat. Right, I can actually see what's going on now. Hello, all you happy, lovely people. Who we got in here in the chat today? We've got Little Nicky, we've got Baz, we've got Ray Coxlar. It's got Cox in the name. Sorry, Ray, can't help it. I'm a child. Jager. We've got Juppe. little Nicky, yeah, same, the typical, the usual suspect, and DJ Bradford, of course. Hello, hello all. Right, so yes, Nick is indeed crazy. 16 seconds clear already. We haven't even got every driver on the track. We're still waiting for some. We do have a couple more. Gecko Racer now out in that absolutely beautiful TDI Designs car. It is a gorgeous piece of machinery, and actually now we've got some daylight. I want to take some time to admire this. If you guys could just close your eyes while I take some time to have some alone time with this absolutely beautiful car. Yeah, it is the work involved in that is just nothing short of that's hours of work, surely. Love it. I like the fact that they've found the picture on one side of. So if I ever do meet, or if I meet a nice lady, I am actually married. If I meet a nice lady, that's what she looks like, not that one. I'm joking, of course. I'd never make a woman cry because I can't punch her enough. No, I didn't mean that. Please don't call the police. I'm clearly joking. And if my missus heard that, she would kick the living out of me. Right, so who else is out? Poctavia now out for CPTL. Made it onto the track. And Toro Scatinato rhymes with tomato, has nothing to do with each other. Telling driver 4 DCT is now out on track. There is some gap between these cars. Now, the gap is so big between Bad Omen and Gecko Racer that they've given up trying to count. You can see there by the dot between it. But I can tell you that Bad Omen is on lap 4, just starting lap 4, and Gecko Racer is only just in 2 laps. There's almost 2 laps difference between them. How the hell did these guys get so far apart in just a couple of hours? Who knows? Still waiting for In-Station Gaming, Dominic Kubinski, Honor, and we've already. How have we already had a disconnection before we've even started? That's insanity, is it not? So the full send team are out onto track, and there goes In-Station Gaming in that full send AMG Mercedes-Benz. Beautiful car. And I want Mercedes to know how much I love this car. And if you want to send one to my house, I will. I'll basically just do my next 100 broadcasts, which will be going. AMG Mercedes is a beautiful car. The AMG Mercedes is a beautiful car, and on and on and on and on and on. You don't even have to put an engine in it; just put it out somewhere else. I can look at it. And the mystery of the missing cat is no longer a mystery. It wasn't missing; it was hiding. It's why everybody have a kit and they can get in little hiding places. But it's now rocked up, and it's eyeing up the charger for my PlayStation controller. And you know what it can do, because it's ginger, it can off. Right. We've got 11 of the 13 cars on track. We've lost one already to, I'm assuming it's a disconnection, and not, oh my God, how long have I been waiting in the pits to come out and have a drive situation? Are you coming up here, Cat? Come and watch these boys race. Alright, don't then. So, leader, 21 seconds clear. Right, so your teammate, Clarky, when I was in charge of the ones and the twos at stupid o'clock this morning, gave me a 1 minute lead when I asked for it. From you, Nick, because you are ridiculously quick already, if you don't have a 1.5 minute lead by the end of this stint, I'm going to tell everybody that you touched me. Parolin is in second in the Ready to Race car. The Ready to Race car has done a great job over this nighttime period, and now we're in bright sunlight. What else can the 666 car do? It is, of course, the number of the beast. So we will see what they're able to pull out of the bag. Stig's in that absolutely gorgeous super dry livery, very LGBT inspired rainbow. Currently in third, and they've been there or thereabouts, this team, for pretty much every stint I've watched. They've been in and around that top three, so doing an excellent job there. Niels Mann, I don't know why I said it in a Jamaican accent. It's absolutely completely unnecessary to do that. It just, I'm from South London. You say man at the end of everything. It seemed appropriate at the time, and now just feels a little bit creepy at 7:30 in the morning. So Niels Mann, let's do it like that. Currently running fourth for the Team TDR. It is the lead Team TDR team now. It wasn't the case a few hours ago, but it is. And now there is Jefferson in the lead. GTSV. GTSV? Yeah, GTSV. That's right, isn't it? I don't know why I was adding extra letters to a GTSV car. I'm only on my first coffee. It takes time. I'm old and slow. Currently running in fifth, 2 minutes behind that top four. That's some distance to make up there. But with an 8:03 compared to the 8:05, it's going to be less than 2 minutes by the end of this stint. 27 seconds back is Your Love Is Like Bad Omen. Well, I don't sing again, but it's far too early for that rubbish. That's the 33 car. Loving that classic livery on that BMW. That's the Team MRL car, which Apex Magnet was doing a great job in that car a couple of hours ago, a couple of stints ago, and that seems to continue. This seems to be the biggest loser over the course of the last few stints. It's the car with Gecko Racer in it, the TDR design car. It is the most beautiful car, but I'm pretty sure this car was much further up the field with Gecko Racer in it before. It only was. He was in the top three for a significant amount of time a couple of stints ago. So the baton has been handed to Gecko Racer, and he's been given a very difficult job to do, and that's to get that car back up into the upper echelons of this race. And at 17 minutes behind, there is a lot of work to do. That says to me that there was some sort of disconnection, which forced them out of the race and has given them a distinct disadvantage. Toro Scatinato, forget about it. You can't forget about it because he's in 8th. He's 27 seconds behind Gecko Racer. That's a big ask, because right behind him is Poctavian. That is the CPTL car. You notice how I paused while I glanced up at the spoils guide. 2.2 seconds behind Toro. Dominic Kaminsky is now out on track in that Linkin Park Project Revolution 911. He's filling in for somebody else, but it's good to see Dominic, because I'll be seeing him again tomorrow when I broadcast the Invitational that he races in on a Monday night. He better do well, or I'm going to character assassinate him for the entire race tomorrow. End Station Gaming, currently running in 11th position. That in the Team Full Send number 22 car. Still waiting for Honor, and on Honor, who's running in the 911 for G-Force Racing, and Migile in the GTS-V car. Who have we lost? Can I work it out? It looks to me like we've lost the Team MRL number 44 that was being driven by, I think, RA Evo. I'm pretty sure it was here. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was here though, but it's not here anymore. So we've lost one already, and I'm assuming to a technical issue, as we see RA Nick has put in another 7:58. I'm beginning to think this 1.5 minute challenge is a little bit too easy for him. Should I make it 2 minutes? We'll leave it at 1.5 minutes because it's 30 seconds clear and we're 5 laps in. So in another 5 laps it should be a minute, and then another 5 laps it should be a minute and a half. But that's the challenge. A big thank you to the broadcasters that carried on after me through the night, of course. Interview, if you want to. Let me sort out. Yeah, someone's just shoved the word interview in my face. I can do an interview, of course I can. Let me just. Yeah, I do want to thank those that the broadcasters that came before. It's been a really long 24 hours. Well, it's not 24 hours just yet. It's been a relatively long 24 hours, and all the broadcasters have been doing a fabulous job. I think it was Vega that was up before me, Chronic up before that. We've got Jager coming on after me, and then me again. So, and then Pony Boy obviously finishes off. Right, let me see where we're at in terms of getting an interview done. Who wants to interview me? Or is it the other, I suppose it's the other way around, isn't it? I need to interview somebody else. I'm just getting the Discord set up. I absolutely know what I need to do. Because I have got it. I have got it in the software. Right. So while we're watching Nick absolutely demolish everybody, I'm going to find some people to talk to. It is breakfast time. Some people are awake. Who can I find? Let me see if I can find this an interview to do. I have found someone. I'm in the interview channel, but they're muted at the moment. That's actually so hard to be fair. Why am I muted? I've been muted by the interview channel. Let's unmute that. It requires push to talk, which is a bit of a pain in the arse because I can't do push to talk in my broadcast. Turn off the push to talk. It doesn't work for me. With the book, I need it to be active. Okay, so I can't do the interview. There we go. Yeah, I need push to talk doesn't work with my software because I need it doesn't flow properly with push to talk is for children who are unable to control themselves. So, in answer to your question, Mr. Hart, I can't do the interview because it's set to push to talk. If you could turn push to talk off, it would make my life so much easier because I don't have buttons mapped for all of that palaver. And if I do push to talk, it cuts out other audio. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Look at me, I'm trying to broadcast and read Discord and drink coffee and stay awake. Have we got any battles? Well, potentially here actually, because we've got this little battle here. Now, Parolin was handed the first position by what looked like a fantastic stint from Roadrunner. One of the Roadrunners, I don't know which one. It might be Roadrunner Junior actually. And immediately Nick had something to say about that and said, no, thank you. I am superhuman and I am coming for you. And then, of course, this happened. We've got the Clockwork motorsport car that has been running in and around that top 3 for some time. Is now starting to close down on the Ready to Race driver. Now, I can't remember the exact position they're in, but I know Ready to Race weren't anywhere near the top 3 when I went to sleep. They were down the order somewhat. So, some brilliant work from Roadrunner, and certainly in the last stint. I'm assuming The other Roadrunner was in the stint before that. I suppose it could have been Paralin, couldn't it? I don't know. It was the guy whose name I can't pronounce during my lobby previously. So it looks like Stiggs is going to be catching that Ridge Race 650S very, very shortly, and we'll see where it's going to happen. We're currently in the GP Stadium, which is the bit that everyone knows very well because this is where they hold all of the majority of the racing that goes on at Nürburgring. I've got some interesting facts about Nürburgring that you might or might not know, and I'll share them with you in a little while. And we'll have a look and see what Stiggs is going to do. It looks like Stiggs is certainly catching Paralin. Whether Stiggs can make it stick is a whole another matter. But they've very close to the back of that 650S. Has to back off before he puts him into a wall around into this Nordschleife section of the track we go. And this is the business end of this racetrack, particularly Sector 1. It's an interesting track, and I'll tell you, for me, you've got, particularly when you do the GP section, it's very kind of organised, and he gets it all kinds of wrong stick, pushing to try and catch that ready to race car. That battle's going to be off for a little while. We can go back to watching something more interesting. No, I'm only joking. So what I'll say about North. So you've got the Nordschleife, you've got your GP track. Now the GP track is very German, very organised, very everything in its place, very kind of uniform in some sort of ways. And then you come straight out of that into Nordschleife, and Nordschleife as a racetrack, it's beautiful, it's scenic, it's challenging, but it's chaotic. There's a reason why Jackie Stewart, the great British racing driver, is Scottish, but this is the thing about us Brits, you'll learn this. If they're English, and they're a great sportsman, we'll call them English. If they're Scottish or Welsh or Irish, or Northern Irish, we'll call them British. If they're good. If they're not, then we'll call them Scottish or Welsh or Northern Irish. That's how he does. So Jackie Stewart, the great British racing driver, was the first person to coin the phrase about Nürburgring, call it the Green Hell. And that's where it achieved that name. There's fact number 1 for you. So Stig now 4.2 seconds behind Paralin, not able to close that gap. 2 minutes is the gap between Jefferson and Nielsman. That's not closing anytime soon. Bad Omen and Jefferson is 47 seconds. That's not closing anytime soon. Gecko Racer is 2 laps back from Bad Omen. That's not closing anytime soon. Not any time soon that we can really judge, to be fair. Gecko Racer is a very quick driver, but it's a difficult task. Toro Scatenetto, 27 seconds is the gap between them and Gecko. We've got a little potential battle going on there. Octavian that's the is that a GCSV car? No, it's the other one, isn't it? The CPTL car. Closing down on Toro Scatenetto in the DCT number 10. This is the 51 CPTL. It's 2.3 seconds, so we'll keep an eye on this battle because this potentially could be something exciting. Very exciting. I do need to get the chat back up because I don't know what you guys are talking about. I can see, I'm trying, but alright, so the interview, I will try and do it, but it's push to talk, man. You need to turn push to talk off. I can't, the push to talk doesn't work for me on this at all. Right, let me get back in there and see if someone's going to actually be in the interview thing. Right, I'm in there, but we've got to turn push to talk off. Don't switch to, I can't do the interview with push to talk. Happy to do the interview, but you've got to turn push to talk off in the Discord, dude. can't do it with push to talk because it's direct to yeah. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass push to talk. Turn it off, man. Right. Look at me trying to do several things at once. Yeah, no, I'm happy. Listen, I'll stay in the interview chat all day long, and people can jump in and out all day and chat to me, but I can't do it with push to talk. We've got 13. We did briefly have 14 for this race, but we lost the 650, I think, the MRL 650s that we lost to total disconnection. Honor Fro is now out on the racetrack, 10.2 seconds behind Migelet, who's dropped down the order somewhat for that GTSV. Yeah, right. I can do the interview. I don't know if you guys are listening. I can do the interview, but you need to turn off push to talk in the Discord in order for it to work on my software and come through. So I am listening, but no one else is. Right, I'm going to sit in there until the push to right. Is it off now? Can you hear me? Right, give me a sec. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hang on. Can you hear me? I can hear you, indeed. How you doing? You alright? You're coming through nice and loud and clear. Why are you not responding to me, dude? Yeah, I can hear you. I've heard you every single time. That's right. You can hear me fine, yeah? Awesome. So how was it for you? Because it looks like it was quite a difficult hang on. Should probably put you into the give me a sec, I've got to change the settings here so you're in the I think we're done. I think we're in. Hang on. Yeah, give me 2 secs. Ah, that's why. Because it was trying to reset to the push to talk, it's reset the device.
That's interesting.
Whoa! That wasn't good. that really wasn't good. Give me a sec. I'm going to mute the race comms for a sec. Can you hear me?
Did?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. Right, we've got it working. Finally
We're
got it
good.
working.
Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah. So basically, what happened was I pushed the talk and changed the audio input, and it all went horribly wrong. So, how was it?
Yeah.
Last stint. Good.
It was frustrating. Like it was really promising in terms of pace, but I should have been way less aggressive, especially when it came to like passing people. I should have probably given a bit more time, and yeah, it just didn't go my way. I should have probably done better, and the next stint where I'm gonna drive, I'm gonna try to do what I couldn't do in stint one.
So at the moment, I mean, you've got. It's very difficult to look past the Race Asylum team at the moment. They are. I mean, Nick and Clarkey especially, absolutely phenomenal in terms of pace, right?
Yeah, I cannot deny that the RA team has been like the team to beat all race, and if they win, they actually do deserve it. And they have like shown a lot of speed. Even through stint one, when Nick faced a lot of trouble and literally finished in the top 5 positions despite like crashing 4 times. It just shows how good those drivers are.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane because I mean, I did stint 6, and when I left, they were a minute clear, and then the rain came in stint 7, and just before I went asleep, I saw that his replacement had crashed, Clarkey's replacement, and then I come back here and the Ridge Race team were in the lead. Roadrunner did a fantastic job in that last stint to get them into the lead, and then Nick said, "I'm having none of that." Got himself straight into the lead. They're 48 seconds clear already, and we're only just at the halfway point.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it just shows that a good car and driver combo can just deliver when it matters.
Yeah,
Because the GTR is like one of the fastest cars, especially at the Nürburgring, and with the talent that the Race Asylum team has, they're just simply unbeatable. Simply just Lewis Hamilton 2020 type of domination.
yeah. Well, yeah, to be fair, that was mostly the car, though, wasn't it? So
Come on, even the driver was talented.
Listen, I've never denied Hamilton's talent. I've just denied that he is anywhere near the GOAT. But that's a conversation for another day. So predictions. As I said, it's very difficult to look past Race Asylum for the win here. But there's certainly been some other options in that top 3 ready to race up there now. They've got themselves in there. You've got the I forgot the name of the team, but the Clockwork Motorsport team. They're in and about that top 3, and even now we've got a few others kind of getting involved. The top 4 clearly are kind of pulling away. Do you think we're going to see some of those outside the top 4 be able to close that gap without relying on disconnections?
Yeah, I think that can definitely be a possibility, and I think it will be down to either pace or luck. But what I mean by the latter is if somebody of the top 4 or 5 just have a very bad stint, the other guys can really capitalize so much just by that, and they could maybe get themselves in the top 5 or get a bit closer to that.
We've just had a disconnection. The Project Revolution 911, being driven by Dominic Kabinski, has just disconnected. So almost, it's one of those things. It's one of those luck and those it's kind of out of our control a little bit. So that's going to set them back somewhat. And to be fair, Dominic's quite a quick driver as well. So they're going to be a bit devastated by that, I think.
Yeah, they had what it's basic. I mean, it's the Sims version of a mechanical failure, and Yeah, that's gonna set them back a lot. Uh, but it's a shame. They had a very good lineup, and that just wasn't meant to be for them.
It's so horrible when it happens, though, isn't it? Because if you think about the effort that these guys put in and the hours and hours of practice, and then you get in and you run your stint and you get disconnected, it's absolutely devastating. I mean, I know I've broken things before when disconnections have happened, and I can imagine these guys. It must be so hard to kind of get your head back in the game after you've lost an entire 2 hour stint because of a technical failure.
Yeah.
So who for you? I mean, outside the sort of top three, who for you do you think's been the big surprise?
I think maybe I'm a bit biased, so I'll just say CPTL, which is the team I'll be driving for. I mean we literally had to scramble for a driver, and we didn't have one until like qualifying, and I think we're doing better than we expected, even though some stuff hasn't gone our way. But we've never given up, and we're in the fight for at least P9, even with a horrible night stint.
It's going quite well. I mean, Poctavian at the minute is in the car. He's 33 seconds behind Gecko Racer. 17 clear of the DCT drivers, and I can tell you, I've got a lot of experience with DCT, and they're very, very good. It's a very, very difficult field, and I mean, from our perspective, I mean, Black Flag usually have one or two teams running. Even we were struggling to get drivers availability purely because of things like holidays and stuff like that, which is why we ended up pulling out and not going for the qualifying, because it's such a tight field, and you need to have 4 drivers that are available and on it and ready to go, because it's so demanding physically and mentally, of course.
Yeah. Wait. May I ask you a question?
Of course.
How many laps are remaining in this stint?
So we're on lap 6 at the moment. They're going at lap 15. So 9 laps remaining in this stint.
Okay. Gotta get myself prepared.
For Octavian, that is. For the leaders, it's a little bit different. For leaders, there are fewer. But you've got a little bit longer because the gap is vast at the moment.
Yeah, I am aware of that. Just that I want to get myself prepared for my stint.
So what do you do? What do you do to get yourself prepared? How do you psych yourself up and get yourself in the mind frame for it?
I usually boot up Assetto Corsa, and I mean yesterday I practiced on Alton Park with the RA Evo, and before qualifying did the same thing, but I drove an LMP car on a rally stage, and that seems to help to practice on completely different combos just before a Nürburgring race.
That's quite funny actually, because I find because I've recently started iRacing, and I find switching between the two incredibly difficult. It takes me sort of 4 or 5 laps to kind of get the style back. But it's interesting, you go to a completely different game, completely different track, a completely different car to kind of get your mind in the game. And it's interesting that you do that. But if it works for you, then I suppose everyone's got their rituals, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Just after this interview, probably gonna boot up Assetto Corsa again, and gonna try another goofy combo.
Awesome.
But there's that. It just works for some reason. It gets me to learn like some areas that I never knew existed of my driving. Because with the LMP car on rallying, I learned how to kind of manage my throttle, and and I think I carried that onto qualifying where I took second place. And with the R8 at Alton Park, I kind of learned how to manage a car which is unstable under braking, under bumpy surfaces. And who knows, I can probably learn something more for my next stint.
That'd be awesome. I look forward to seeing you out there and seeing how you get on. But thanks for joining me, though. It's been awesome. Apologies for the technical issues early on.
Nah, you're awesome, dude. Have a good one, bro.
You too, man. Speak soon.
Yeah, thanks, bro. See ya.
See ya. That was Marco joining us from in the Racing TV channel. Listen, anyone's in the Discord, if you want to come and have a chat with me, I fixed it now. It works properly. And now push to talk has been turned off. I can do it when it doesn't keep screwing up the audio. So this is the downside to broadcasting the way that I do over the rest of the guys. The rest of the guys just turn on the PlayStation and whack it on and get on with it, which means that everything's all connected and you don't have to mess around. My setup is a little bit more complicated and requires me to push more buttons, which is probably a stupid thing for me to do. Bearing in mind that I am a blibbering idiot when it comes to technology. Anyway, Stigs has made their way up into second here at Nürburgring. If you are just joining us and you haven't seen where we are, yes, yeah, Gert, I am indeed from Black Flag. How you doing? It is me. It is I. Is my voice that distinctive? I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing. I suppose it's good in the fact that you can recognise my voice. I suppose it's bad in the fact that if I ever rob a bank, everyone's going to know it's me. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Geronimo. Yes, I remember that very, very well. Right, so where are we at in terms of driver positions? So we have a full rundown. So Nick in the pits for his first pit stop. He's done a 7:56.0. It's just nuts, absolute nuts in terms of lap time. We're going to have to find a way to slow Nick down. And I don't know what it is. Do we... Yeah, I remember, man. I remember watching film. We know what we need, right? We need one guy to stand at one side of the racetrack and one guy to stand at the other and pretend they've got a rope and see if it slows them down. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos. Very, very funny. Right, so Stigs in the that beautiful rainbow coloured Lexus. How long can they hold off Paradigm? Because it looks like that ready to race car is ready to race and is coming at you like Cleopatra right now. The gap is only 0.6 of a second as we head down, and actually Paradigm pulls off into the pits for ready to race, which gives Stig a little bit of a breather. Stig can just go, whew, and well, I don't know if he's going to make that really punchy noise. He might do, who knows? But the 56 car stays in second for the time being, but of course we'll have to pit. Shall we bring up? Let's bring up some stuff so we can see what's occurring. There we go. So yes, still some time. Most people tend to go in around the halfway point, but yeah, some of them are staying out a little bit longer, and Stiggs is one of them. Paradigm in, Nilseman, he's into the pits for, that's the TDR design, what is it? I suppose it's the number 2 car, because it's 16, isn't it? Into the pits, Jefferson. That didn't sound creepy at all. A couple of minutes back. Are they going to come in this time out for GTSV, or are they going to carry on and do a couple more laps? We're at slap bang halfway point of this particular stint, and the gaps are huge now. We've got no real big races going on. We had that little thing between the ready to race car in third and Stiggs in second, but the gap between third and fourth, that's 2 27 seconds. 2 minutes back to Jefferson, another 2 minutes back to Bad Omen, and then we've got a couple of months almost. Put it this way, for Nick, it's next Tuesday. For these guys, it's still Saturday night. That's the golf in time. It's not really, is it? It says 18 minutes there, which is even on an 8-minute lap, that's some kind of gap, right? But Gecko Racer is, I suppose you could say, best of the rest at the moment in the second TDI design car, which was running in the top 3 just a couple of hours ago, 3-4 hours ago. Now down in 7th with some work to do indeed. Poctavian, we were just talking to his teammate Marco, who's jumping in at the end of this stint. Interesting actually to hear how he prepared, because I mean, for me, I don't really prepare. I'm not quick enough to worry about stuff like that. I kind of rock up, just do a couple of laps and hope for the best. Where is the Lexus? The Lexus is... Which one's the Lexus? The Lexus is the... is the Lexus one that got disconnected? Of course, no, it's not. The Lexus RCF, the Clockwork Motorsport, it's up there. That's the Clockwork Motorsport car, up in second. Really doing well. Awesome performance from them. So that's something pretty cool to wake up to, right? Don't you think? Yeah, running really well in second. Briefly had to challenge from the Ready to Race team in third, but that was shaken off. Although they still do have to pit. Now we know Nick's been in. Nick is 32 seconds clear. Well, I just want to point out, right? So there is a Migile for GTSV running 8:36 lap times, yeah? That's Nick, right? Who went into the pits and did an 8:14. It's insane. Right, let's you want to have a look at the gaps at the back of the field. So there's gap number 1. It's well, let's turn this off now. Just want just racing photo. Right, so it's 1 minute 15 seconds between Gillet and Honor. We've lost a couple of drivers. We've lost Dominic Kabinski, who was in the 911, the Project Revolution 911, the 88 car. We did also lose the 44 Team MRL car, and I think it was Evo driving that, which was very disappointing. So this is the 67 GTSV car, 1 minute 22 seconds. Honor, that's the other 911, that's the G-Force Racing 911. They did actually pull out of this race due to some technical issues early on, and then of course discovered that they could actually just carry on racing, but albeit at the back of the pack. But it's not going too badly because they're already up to 11th. So it's not all doom and gloom for the G-Force Racing team, which is made up. I know that Sam Smith didn't make because he had to work. I think he's about now. One of them had a problem. I think it was the RA Academy driver Vines had a problem with his what's the word I'm looking for? Setup. It may well have been Honor as well, and could have had a problem. I wasn't really paying that much attention. And one of our drivers actually, Xerxes, racing with these guys from the United States. The gap then to End Station Gaming, well, it's 2 laps. There we go. End Station Gaming, of course, in that number 22 Team Full Send AMG. Beautiful, beautiful car. Love it. 1 minute 51 seconds to the DCT car of Toro Scatinato. Scatinato rhymes with tomato. I don't know why I'm butchering that. 54.5 seconds to Then we've got a safety car. Why do we have a safety car? Who's dead? Let's have a look who has died, and we'll find out why. Safety car is out. Display all. We can find out who's got engine damage. That will be Migile. So, engine damage for Migile. This could put the cat amongst the pigeons, because it will close the field up significantly. Now the safety car is out. We don't actually have a safety car. We just have Nick going slower. But that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? I suppose, while we've got the safety car. Now, I'm going to ask the question, because management's here and they're listening. Why can't people unlap themselves under the safety car? Is there a reason for it? I concede to people much smarter than me with organising stuff like this. You saw an ED message in chat, right? Are you talking about erectile dysfunction? Because I don't see it. I think you. I think someone sent that to you personally, mate. Possibly. Who knows? Right. Yeah. So let's. We'll stay with. Let's not. Let's stay with Nick. So who's diving into the pits? So Stig's diving into the pits. Good time for Stig's actually, because it's the smallest loss of time, of course, to pit under the safety car. As we all know, everyone's watched other racing. Right, yeah, I've got some facts about the Nürburgring that you might not. You might know it, but I really don't care. I'm going to tell you anyway. If it were built today, it would cost 36 million euros to construct. In the scheme of things, that's not actually super expensive. It is classed not as a racetrack when there's no racing, but as a toll road. It's $30 that is, a lap to drive on, and it is subject to German traffic law. So yes, you can drive fast because you're allowed on the autobahns. You can go super quick, but there are certain sections of the track which are restricted speed. So yeah, it's because it's a public road. It's a toll road when there's not a racing event on. Technically, it's not a racetrack. Here's a really interesting fact, right? If you rent a car and you put it on the Nürburgring, you will be banned for life by that rental company. And that's pretty much across the board for all car rental companies. They do not want you putting their car on the Nürburgring, but you'd be surprised how many people actually do it. 170 turns, I think you know that already. This particular 24-hour layout is 170 turns. Nordschleife itself is 154. As I cough my guts up through my nose. This one was the one that actually got me, because you see the ups and the downs and the twists and the turns and everything else through Nordschleife, but the terrain difference, the elevation difference is staggering. It's 1,000 feet difference between the highest and the lowest point on the racetrack, which just goes to show the incredible complexity. You've got to bear in mind also that Formula One used to race on the Nordschleife track, not the newly built GP track. Something else to note: if a driver has an accident while driving it as a public road, even if they die, their family are responsible for paying to repair the damage. Even if they do no damage to their car, they have to pay for the damage to the racetrack, or the gravel, or the barriers they hit, or anything along those lines. Now, while the GT3 lap record is slower than Nick has gone, that was in a Ferrari, the actual lap record for Nordschleife alone is 5 minutes 19.5 seconds. That it wasn't a production car, of course. It was a heavily modified Porsche 956 car, and that was a guy called Stefan Beloff did it. Sorry, that was 6 minutes 11 seconds. That's the official record. The 519 was done in a modified Porsche 919 Evo with Timo Bernhard at the wheel. It's insane. It's insane. You can actually find the footage on YouTube. Look it up. It's something insane. So in 1935, the German Grand Prix was held at Nordschleife, and the Mercedes team was so confident that they were going to win that they only brought the recording of the German national anthem to the race. And then when the Italian Tadzio Nuvolari in the Alfa Romeo won it, he had to get his own copy of the national anthem that he conveniently brought with him on tape to play, because the Germans were so utterly confident that he wasn't going to win that they didn't even bother bringing the national anthem for him. That's awesome. 25,000 people have been involved in the construction of Nordschleife and the Nürburgring in general. I gave you a fact earlier, which is the green hell came from, of course, the great Jackie Stewart. The 1976 Grand Prix was a focus point of the film Rush, and it was based around here. This is where Niki Lauda burnt his face off. It is a little bit shorter than it used to be, which is not super. They reckon there's somewhere between 10 and, well, some say that 80 people have died of Nordschleife in total, but some people think it's up to 12 a year. But those figures are heavily disputed, and I think if it was that high, there would probably be more news about it, so let's not do that. The guy that founded the Nürburgring is a guy called Dr. Otto Krues, who was a politician in this region of Germany. And he ended up committing suicide when he was accused of fraud and diverting funds to other areas. What a legacy to leave behind after committing suicide. One of the most iconic racetracks in the history of racing. We know that it's 15 miles long. We know that it used to have north and south loop, and technically it's the birthplace of the Mercedes Silver Arrows. There you go. Not much else I can really tell you about the Nürburgring, but there's some interesting facts for you all to digest as you wish. Right, so Nick did have a significant lead. That's now cut to 1 minute. The ready-to-race car, Parolin in second. Stiggs took the opportunity to dive into the pits under safety car, which has really backed up the pack somewhat. But has lost him second position, of course. Nilsman very much back involved again now. Wasn't before, but very much involved. Jefferson also closed in. They're restarting out zone 3, which is somewhere around Clapham South. Oh no, we're not talking about the London Tube, are we? Bad Omen is much closer as well, 26 seconds. Gecko Racer is still a couple of laps back, but the top 6 now all on the lead lap and all pretty close to each other. So there's only 8 seconds now separate the top 6. Only 8 seconds. It was quite a long safety car, wasn't it? I got to waffle quite a lot. We're on lap 10 of the 50, well, lap 9 technically racing lap of the 15 to 14 racing lap, shall I say. We'll see I thought that was just for me. It's not at all. Yeah, so we had, it was Michelet who had engine damage and had to dive in and repair. Currently running in the 12th position. 6.5 seconds back, so actually it's been not entirely unbeneficial to have the engine damage when they did, because it's closed the gap up on Honour. Those two running on lap 6 of 16. Then we've got End Station Gaming, Toro, Scatinetto for DCT, and Poptavian, and also Gecko Racer. They're on lap 8 of 16, and everybody else on the lead lap up to 6th position. So there is your de facto safety car. His name is Nick, and he drives insanely quickly. He's done a 7.56.0. The safety car has prevented him from improving upon that for a couple of laps, but I've no doubt in my mind it will be happening very, very soon. I think the gap is supposed to be a couple of car lengths, but yeah. Someone was having a bit of a moan up in the chat. I want to have a look at that low one. I'm done watching this SC joke. The guy's 30 minutes behind and hit the wall. Drive to the pits and fix it. No? Well, he did. I suppose you could argue safety car was out too long, yeah, but he drove to the pits, he fixed it, and yeah. It's been a long night. Go and have a. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Get some nuts. RA Nick leads the way for the Race Asylum team. They weren't in the lead when I took over this stint. It was the Ready to Race team that Paralin currently lead, in that car. But Nick demonstrated just why him and Clarkey should be put in a sack and thrown to the wolves, because they are so crazy quick. And we are back underway again here, and Nick is going to try and regain that big lead that he had. It was somewhere near 30 seconds on that 5, and still opening up. In what position are you in RN? Well, there is Honour in 11th position, but Strokes team had a disconnection, unfortunately. But yeah, Nick leads already 1.2 seconds clear. I did set him a target of 1.5 minutes. It's not necessarily going to be possible to do that with the fact that safety car's been out. So I'm not changing it though. He's too damn quick. He needs something to challenge him, and the challenge is 1.5 minutes, my friend. That's what I want from you. Ready to Race. They are currently running in second. 1.9 from the Clockwork Motorsport team. They've not got it all their own way, because the GTSV driver Jefferson is tucked in nicely behind there. Nilsman involved as well. This is a three-way battle here. Now we are significantly into this race, and at this point you would think that everyone's kind of spread out, but no, it's still going off. They're still racing, and there's still overtakes to be done. This is how it looks. Paralin does need to push. You're absolutely right. Trying to hang on to P1, it's going to be a very difficult task to hang on to P1, to be fair. Nick is super duper quick. I think all the RA guys have been really quick. It has been a shame to see so many DCs. You are absolutely right, Ray. Thing is, it's a combination of people's own equipment and, of course, the servers as well. Some things are out of our control. Up ahead, you can see the battle for. That's the battle for third right there. In fact, it's not just the battle for third; it's potentially the battle for second, because these cars are separated by just under 1 second. It's Nilsman in fifth. It's Jefferson in fourth. It is Stiggs in third, and in second, the Ready to Race car with Parolin aboard, trying to stay ahead. They're in this long blast down now to the start-finish line. Really want to be tucked in that slipstream at this stage, and nobody bar Stiggs is really tucked in well enough to get the most advantage out of it. And we'll have a look from on board Stiggs, because he is closing quite quickly on the back of that McLaren 650S. Ran out of road, of course. Oh, Stiggs getting all kinds of squirrely. You can't park that there, mate. And that's allowed Jefferson to get a run on the Clockwork Motorsport driver. Can he get a move on him into turn 1 here? And has this gone from Stiggs vying for second to, oh, there's a touch. The stewards are going to have a little shufty at that. That was not fun. Yeah, that's a stewarding decision all day long. I'm not getting involved with that at all. Yeah, I think Jefferson needs to think about life choices after that. Now, the done thing here would be to give that position back, possibly. Difficult to do, of course, because it means giving up 4th position. Yeah, it's a hard one, because when you do clip another collar, and for the most part it's not intentional, but you know, it does still require punishment of sorts. It's easy to get the position back if the car that you gained from is directly behind you. But if a couple of cars have gone through, it's difficult to do that. What happened to Nick? Nick's had a problem. Nick's had a big problem. Let's have a look and see what happens to Nick. He is off the racetrack. So from 30 seconds ahead to being down in 4th position. It's all gone very Pete Tong for Race Asylum since the safety car. Look, don't get me wrong, I'm not... Oh, he gets it wrong again, and this is going to give Bad Omen a run on him. Bad Omen and Octavian. Possibly, I think actually that's a lapped car right behind him. I got all excited then, but that's a lapped car behind him, and they won't be challenging anytime soon. So how about that then? How's about that then? So in the lead now, didn't see it coming. It's the GTSV car being driven by Jefferson. Mr. T has left the room. Why has he left the room? I'm getting a little bit worried that people are going to get thrown out of this room. It's not working too well. So 1.1 seconds is the gap to the Ready to Race driver. It is 6/10 back to Nilsson, who's sticking in there in 3rd place at the moment. And it's all going off since... genuinely, I thought I was going to wake up 7 o'clock in the morning and have a nice, easy race. Everyone 15 seconds apart, and I could just waffle for 2 hours and not actually put any effort in. And we only had to go and have a bloody safety car, didn't we? And I'll go and do my job. So Jefferson does lead this race. Parolin Ready to Race driver in 2nd. This is played back into their hands. They were leading coming into this stint, and this is played back into the R2R hands. Nils Simon, that's the TD Designs car. Yeah, Nick has pitted. He also crashed. Stig, in fact, I think everybody's pitted now. I'm just going to flick through actually. Let me see. I did a replay, which is why it's all up there. Oh, we've got engine damage there. End Station Gaming with engine damage. Are we going to have another one of those safety car things? The race director's not actually in the room. I can't call it. It's not down at me. Yeah, so there's engine damage for End Station Gaming. Why did I turn that off? Idiot. Should leave that on, really. So you can see that. Yes, there's engine damage there for End Station Gaming. In that Team Full Send car, which ordinarily would call about a safety car, but they're not slowing down, and of course there's no one there to call it because he got disconnected. So we raced on. That would have been perfect for RA Nick, but there's no steward in the room to call it, although he's in now. Is he going to call it now? But yeah, yes, the answer to that question, Roadrunner, is safety car, if he calls it. The steward wasn't in the room when it happened, so we don't know. But there's the stricken car it's the Team Full Send car with End Station Gaming behind the wheel, and that's just allowing that, in fact, the longer the safety car doesn't come out. I haven't. I can call that I can see it, but as far as I'm aware, I've not got the authority to call a safety car. In all honesty, I wouldn't call a freaking safety car for damage anyway. If you break your car, tough shit. Go and repair it and carry on. That's my opinion, but I've made the call. But there we go. Here we go. Safety car is being called. Listen, unless I'm directed to specifically make a safety car call, it's not my place to do it. I can tell you guys we need a safety car. I can tell you that it would be a safety car call, but I can't start implementing rules. But there we go. There we have it. Okay, so End Station Game is going to have to get that damage repaired. We've got another safety car which will negate this race again. That plays well into the hands of Nick, who, after the last safety car, lost his concentration a little bit, made a mistake, and that saw the Race Asylum 24 car drop down back into 5th position. But with the race being negated as it is, after the engine damage for the full send car, it slows it all down, and everything goes very slowly. Who didn't know it's a message? Actually, it doesn't look like they have, does it? It looks like they're still going relatively quickly. Yeah, I like the idea of a safety car for engine damage. I just think it's a difficult track to do it on, because if you crash in turn 1 and damage your engine, it's 8 minutes before you're getting back to... Well, it's not, because if your engine's damaged, it's going to take you 15 minutes to get there. And then, of course, you've got to wait till the car comes back out to... your fingers stop working. Yeah, that happened to me a long time ago. My cat's disappeared again. I don't found the cat. It's chilling on me pedals. Right, so I prepared something to talk about during a potential safety car period. I didn't expect there to be 2 of them. Oh, I'll tell you what I do know about the Nürburgring. How about this? So, roller coasters. Now, there are a few tracks around the world that have access to roller coasters. You've got Suzuka, of course. There's a theme park next door to Suzuka, the roller coaster. Yas Marina has one at Ferrari World, of course. Sochi has one at their theme park, which is next to the Sochi Olympic Park. But they're not alongside the actual racetracks. You know, they're close by. Nürburgring, in the early noughties, they spent 215 million euros on a motorsport theme park, and you know, some of the hotels are still there, and apartments and shops and all that kind of thing. And there's bars and there's restaurants, and there was at the time what they called the fastest roller coaster in the world. It was called the Ring Racer, and it went, you ready for this, 217 kilometers an hour in just 2.5 seconds. A 3.4 lateral G for riders of this roller coaster. So essentially it was like the death coaster. Human beings can't handle that kind of G off the bat. Faster than a Formula 1 car, essentially. But that was kind of the plan to give people an experience. Anyway, they started building it in the early 2000s. In 2009, the launch system on it exploded and caused some injuries. So they didn't actually open the roller coaster until 2013, and it lasted exactly one racing season. Yeah, they're not using it anymore. I think purely because it's 3.5 lateral fucking G, which is ridiculous. But it is still there. It's just not used as a roller coaster anymore. It's used as a reminder to idiots to stop building things that are ridiculous, just because you can. There we have it. Right, now the safety car, and I think we can just get rid of that info on the screen, shall we? Before Mr. T comes around to my house and kicks me in the head. I know he doesn't like it much. To be fair, I like to have access to it, I just don't like it for you guys to see it. Because I want all the information to myself. There's stuff to talk about that you don't know. There's many, many things that I know that you don't know, but not much of it's about racing. So it's all changed. Safety car has mixed things up a little notch, and we now have the GTS-V team, that 68 car, in the lead. They're restarting in Zone 1, which is, of course, as you know, Leicester Square, Central London. We're not talking about the tube, are we? So it is at 666, the number of the beast. So Jefferson is leading the way for the GTS-V team. Ready to race in second. It is the TD Design team in third. Neil Simon behind the wheel. And then we've got Stiggs in that Clockwork Motorsports car. Losing a couple of places, was comfortably top 3 until the safety car occurred, and now this is where we're at. Nick, after that last safety car, went a little bit squiff, and we are now green, and we go racing, and straight away Parolin wasn't sleeping. Parolin wide awake, and that 666 ready to race car having a little dig at Jefferson, but Jefferson says no. You're not coming through this time, sonny boy. Neil Simon is in third place, but it is really, really going off at the moment. All these guys very, very close. So, who's that in the wall? I have a feeling that was a back marker that was in the wall somewhere. I don't know. I can't find them now. It was an orange car that looked to be sideways. Was it Stig? It could have been Stiggs. He's still very much in this battle, and Nilsson also still in this battle. So don't know who it was, but somebody was dead briefly. So Jefferson leads 8 tenths of a second from Parolin. It's Nilsson in third, and then Stiggs in fourth. Nick in fifth place, and Bad Omen there, 6.4 seconds back. He's the only other one on that lead lap. This is lap 12 of 16. This is stint number 9, and there are 3 stints remaining. We've got an MD call. Does that mean we've got more engine damage? Please, God, no. I don't know why I'm asking God, he doesn't exist. And even if he did, he wouldn't do anything nice for me because he's a malevolent bellend. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Let's have a look. Have we got anyone else with engine damage? No. That's Mugile. He is just being lapped by that stunning TDR Designs car, which is that one, being driven by Gecko Racer. So the gap actually, the lap 10 for Gecko End Station Gaming, Toro Scardinato, forget about it. Yeah, cultural misappropriation right there. And of course Poctavian in that CPTL car. They're on lap 10. You've got Migele and Honor 11 seconds apart on lap 8, couple of laps down. Lead lap looks like this. There's Jefferson in the lead of this race. Parolin for Ready to Race just behind. Nilsson for the TD Design team. Who's TDR Design, isn't it? In third. Stiggs in that Clockwork. Was it Clockwork? Yes, Clockwork, not Clockwise. Clockwise Racing. Clockwork Motorsport in fourth. Race Asylum Nick for the Race Asylum team in fifth, and Bad Omen, who's a little bit Romery, back in sixth position because he's 6 seconds behind. So let's have a look from Nick's perspective. And you'll notice that of all the commentators, I'm the one that doesn't do corner names and stuff. I do if I know the corner names, I'll read them off. I don't know these corner names, and although I do have a very handy corner name guide, I can't pronounce any of them. And it's not like drivers' names that I can just make up as I go along and have a little. Some of these names actually mean something, so I should probably just not butcher them. So here we go. This is Nick in one of the 170 corners he's named on the box. There's 170 of them. Ahead, you can see the battle raging on. We know how quick Nick can go. He's done 7:56.0 before we had 4 laps of safety car nonsense. Really, really close. So quick through that sector. On the brakes, does he? Oh! Into the back of that car. He has to back off and then keep that position. I don't do it often, mate. I don't do it often, and to be fair, it's not pleasurable. It's not pleasing. I'm sure Jaeger sings. Well, I don't want to put that. I'm sure Jaeger sings like an angel. I do, but it's the angel of death. So Nick is now a second behind Stiggs. You know, I think back. He was super quick, and just had to back off a little bit because they're coming together. The cat's just decided to use his wife back as a climbing post. Arse. You really can, trust me, you can compare with my voice. My singing voice is akin to 2 cats fighting in a sack over a mouse. So that is on board with Stiggs. You can see there Nick has backed off a little bit since that coming together, and the gap to Nilsson, that's 1.8 seconds at the minute. You can see there, and he's very close there to the race driver Paradin in that McLaren 650S. And I don't know what it is about the McLaren, but it looks gorgeous in orange and yellow. I've got an orange and yellow McLaren as well. Well, we very nearly had to sing some funeral songs, like How Much Is That Doggy in the Window and Back in Black for Nilsman's. Very nearly died, but did manage to save it. Delta P1, P2, of course, 1.8 seconds. It's all very much samey out in front at the moment. Jefferson 1.8 seconds clear of Paradin. 1.2 to Nilsman, 1.1 to Stiggs, 1.2 to Nick, and then 9.1 to Bad Omen, who's letting the side down by not going faster. Sort it out, son. What is wrong with you? You're ruining it for everybody. He's not. He's doing a great job. He's on that lead lap with the top 5 drivers. Poctavian does have that 911 all over him, but they're not racing for track position. They're racing for unlapping themselves at the moment. What does I don't understand the word. What? Gooey Morge. End Station Gaming. We saw significant damage on that full send car, which was the Region 4 one of the safety cars. 1.6 seconds is the gap between them and Poctavian, and them and Toro Scatinato in the DCT Italian car. Nicely sandwiched between the two. Are they closing on Poctavian? Well, it certainly looks that way. because it's only a 9/10 of a second, and they seem to be pulling away. The back looked a little bit loose then, but I did manage to hold it. That's a blue flag, so behind is going to be one of the leaders somewhere. I'm not going to say, I don't know who it is. This is where it gets confusing, especially because you're in a race now. There is a race going on between 3 cars here, and someone is lapping where they want to be. The last thing you want to do is be slowing down for one of the leaders while you are in a battle. And this is a battle for mid-table supremacy, with that sort of 7th, 8th and 9th up for grabs. And it, you know, if you can set your teammate, and this is where they're starting to think now about how well they can set their teammate up for. If you can set the guy that's coming and getting in that car after you up for a good run, you want to do that, and you want to make sure that you are not compromising their start in any way. So here we go, GP track over on lap 11 for these guys into Nordschleife with Venture. Don't like the look of that cloud. Do not like them. Let me have a look at this cloud. They do not like the look of those clouds. Come here. That's what I'm looking for. Look at those. They are not very nice looking clouds over there. It's very dark. Do we have more rain on the horizon? Well, we will find out. I didn't get any rain in mine. Could have done with some rain. It would have zhuzhed it up a little bit, but it didn't happen. Let's have a look at these leaders, because the gaps... oh, look at this. Nilsman crawling all over the back of Parolin. He's so close, it's almost human centipede styly. Not quite, but almost. Crawling over the back. Stig's there as well. This is quite a quick part of the racetrack. And also Nick, look at this. 4 cars duking it out. This, believe it or not, we are... many hours into this race, and this is the battle for second. There are 4 cars involved in this battle. It is Nick and Stiggs and Nilsson and Parolin ready to race, and TDR Designs, Race Asylum and Clockwork Motorsport. In Germany, this is normal. The clouds are black when it went raining. To be fair, our weather's quite similar here in the UK as it is to you guys in Germany. The only thing is over here that you can genuinely, this week we have had almost 4 seasons in a freaking day. In fact, next time I go out, I'm going to take my flip-flops and my umbrella and a towel and a coat and some sunscreen and a jumper and a raincoat and my Wellington boots. Yeah, that Parolin looking really good. You can see here, this battle is absolutely awesome. 4 cars battling it out for second. We're on board, or not on board, we're chase camming. I'm controlling the drone that flies behind Race Asylum. Nick's car is GTR, and the Race Asylum boys love this GTR. It's their go-to car. I'm kind of tempted to pick it for my lot for Suzuka without even testing it. Because when the entries go up, you know these guys are going straight into this GTR. And here's the move. Does he get the move done on Stiggs? He's on the inside. Closey. They did have a little coming together earlier. Stiggs didn't really leave the room there. And Nick backed out, sensibly backed out. The thing is, it's quite a narrow part of the racetrack here. I wouldn't say that was... Should he give me more room? Probably. But maybe like me, he ran out of a little bit of skill and couldn't keep it up the inside. And of course, you want to defend as well. You don't want to give up a position. Absolutely revving the nuts out of it. There is a 6th gear, man. Get into a 6th gear. Look at that. He is revving the absolute craziness out of this car. Right, let's turn out. Let's put the racing foot back on and turn that off. I keep forgetting it, to be fair. What is going on? Another technical issue for me. It looks to me like YouTube's not working. I know it is. It is. Right, so we are currently watching with Race Asylum Nick the fastest man on 4 wheels since the next fastest man on 4 wheels. I'm not going to say Lewis Hamilton because he's not, he's a knob. 7:56.0 is his hot lap, but that means nothing when the safety car comes out, and then you get it all kinds of wrong, and then you're back in 5th. There's only 2 and a bit laps remaining to try and get himself up towards the business end. Well, to be fair, these guys are at the business end, but the real business, the business end, which is there. Jefferson currently leading by 5.2 seconds. Parolin is leading this pack out at the moment, but I want to go on board actually with Nick like this, so we can see the chase down. And I'm not picking Nick because he's the fastest car in the race. I'm picking him because he's at the back of this line of 4 cars. Did you miss anything? Yeah, 2 safety cars. Nick got it all kinds of wrong. He was like, he was like 4 days clear, and then got it all kinds of wrong after the safety car, and has lost the position. This will be, is it 3rd time lucky making the move on Stiggs, because he's had a couple of goes. The first time he clobbered Stiggs and Stones might break my bones. He did give him a clobber and then let him keep the position. Then they got side by side, and Sliggs just kind of shut him out. Have I just called him Sliggs again? Right, listen. Oh, what happened to Stiggs there? What happened? We're going to have a little look at that. Something went horribly wrong here. So, we're on board with him now, and you can see... I can't see where he went wrong here. What happened? Oh, he just... Was that some kind of net code or something? It just went... a whole kind of weird. Just like disappeared off to the right hand side. Now, how much time has that cost him? Where is he? He's there. No engine damage. That's no safety car. But that's going to be causing him significant power loss. You can see there how far down he is. That's not safety car territory at all. And to be fair, we've had enough safety cars for one day. Thank you very much for one stint anyway. Thank you very much. So there's your race leader. Jefferson is 5.6 seconds. Nilsson is ahead of Parolin now, has taken 2nd position. Don't know if we're going to get to see that because we were too busy watching Stiggs put it in a wall. Bad omen. This is the benefit of just sticking with the battle, because now you're right, Slugsy, you can't park that there, mate. In fact, if I hang on, I've just got to do something. What's going on? Why is it not working? I've got it here somewhere. Have I? I've lost it. I did have it. Oh, there we go. You can't park that there, mate. You can't park that there, mate. That's what you're looking for, isn't it? I did have it on the soundboard somewhere. We may possibly, to be fair, it's not the only stint bandit that has won a stint. We started this stint with Ready to Race in the lead. We could possibly have Ready to Race in the lead again, although Parolin has now lost another position to Nick. Nick moving up to 3rd. So Ready to Race back in 4th. Wheel DC's never happened before till the last update. Very strange. I've never had a wheel disconnection, but then I don't have a very nice wheel. I've had normal disconnections, I've had internet issues, I've had lobbies crash on me, but yeah, it's a very strange game. But it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the appeal. Like real life, things can just go a little bit wrong. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it, and maybe we should embrace that a little bit more. Listen, I am fully moan mode every time anything goes wrong or it does something I don't like. Genuinely, one of my most watched videos on YouTube is massive rant about update 1.29, when they brought in the VR update. I literally went absolutely to town on PD, and then of course there's nothing. I'm not suggesting that my rant was what caused the update, but you know, I'm the first to complain a lot. But you kind of have to think that some of these little issues, Nick has, you're right, moved up to P2. It was never in doubt really, and I don't know though. I'll tell you what, he's quick. He's super quick. But has Jefferson, with those 6.5 seconds, got a big enough gap to keep him at bay? It's certainly going to be a big chase down. Right, so shall we do it? Let's have a look at the back of the pack, because we guys don't get enough love. It's Mijuli. 34 seconds behind Honor. Those two are on lap 10. We can get to see loads more of them soon, when everybody else is gone. Gecko Racer, Toros Gataneto, Endstation Gaming, and Poctavian. They're all running on lap 12. This is the lead lap. Oh, penalty for Stiggs of 3 seconds. That's after coming out of the pits and repairing. So 15 seconds behind Bad Omen, and he's going to get a whole lot worse for Stiggs at the end of this lap when he serves that 3-second penalty. 21 seconds to Parolin. The ready-to-race driver is kind of comfortable there now, the Dutchman. Is not too far behind Nils Simon, the German driver, in that BMW. And what else would a German driver drive than a BMW? Fair. Nick from Race Asylum was at one stage in this stint over 30 seconds clear, after putting in laps such as that 7:56.0, 7:58.5, 7:58.1. Then we had a whole spate of safety cars, as you can see by the lap times changing. And after the first safety car restart, got it many shades, 50 shades of wrong, and had a little foray into the sand, and spun the car around and lost some positions. And because of another safety car, hasn't really had the opportunity to make that big final push. But it's lap 14 for the lead lap drivers. It's a lap and a half before they come in and we start to see their teammates take over, and that'll be happening very shortly. And your glorious host for that will be I've been in the Indian channel, no one's come to join me, so I'm coming out. Right, give me a sec, I'll tell you who are, I can't remember who it is. I suppose somebody could tell me, but that would involve me watching the chat. And as we know, I don't multitask. I can drink coffee and smoke, or I can swear at stupid people and wave at them at the same time. But that's it. So it is Jaeger coming up straight afterwards on this very channel we're at here. That'll be at 8:44, probably about 9 o'clock. Just gone 9 o'clock. So it's at 8:45 because that was 15 minutes ago. He will be in the other lobby, of course, lurking. But we should, in about 15 minutes' time, start to see all the other cars. Well, not even that now, I think. Probably about 12 or 13 minutes' time, all the other cars will start to come out. So essentially, this is what we've got. We've got a lap and a half chase down for Race Asylum's Nick 88. It's not an easy task by any stretch of the imagination, but we've seen the phenomenal pace of the Race Asylum guys today, particularly Clarky and Nick. Or I've seen particularly Clarky and Nick. You guys that don't go to sleep because you're freaks. You guys have seen all of them, yeah. But I need my blue sleep, a lot of it as well. A lot of Race Asylum in the chat. Hello. Right, housekeeping. Have you clicked the like button? Well, there's 26 of you watching, and there's only 8 likes. So the answer to that is no. So do it immediately. Click that like button. Thank you very much. Crack on. Have you clicked the subscribe button? Well, I know you've done that because I made this video subscribers only for that very purpose. If you want to know what, you have to subscribe. So that we know you've done. Get that like button smashed. And then what you do is you go and if you look down in the description at the bottom, you've got the commentary team's YouTube channels, Pony and Jager and Vega, and of course me. But forget about me. Those other guys are actually awesome commentators and know what they're doing. I am just the random idiot they throw in to keep you all entertained, like a performing seal. Come in and waffle some bullshit for 2 hours at you. Go and jump onto their YouTube and give them a subscribe and give them a like, and give them some love because they've put in significant effort in. Yeah, thank you. There's still more of you need to click that like button. Love it. Thank you very, very much. Awesome. Right, Jefferson, 3.1 seconds is his lead. There is Nick. He's now pulled 7 seconds out on Nilsson and Paradin side by side. Look at these two battling out. These two, no one told these two that we were going to have a nice little quiet leisurely drive on this final lap, did they? It is on like Donkey Kong between these two, and Paradin and Nilsson having a great little ding dong battle. And it's clean as well, which is great. I love it when we have a clean battle. Just like having a clean pair of pants makes you feel all warm and fuzzy. The 666 car was the race leader at the beginning of this stint. It's amazing what happens in 2 hours, isn't it? And at one stage was way off the pace. Yes, remember to box at the end of lap 15, please. Or this could go horribly wrong. But that's where we are at. Well, the reminder, that might need to come out again for some of these guys, because there is Michelet. He's only on lap 11. So, yeah, he's going to need another reminder in a couple of laps' time, I think, because he is some way behind. So, we are on the final lap of the race for these lead lappers. The lead lappers are everyone down to Stig's traction control. Because that's what it means. Genuinely, that's what it means. His mum told me. She sent me a little postcard with a picture. It was a baby and said his name is Stig's traction control. Bad Omen. He is not racing that car you can see in front of him. That is a lapping car or a lapped car. That's the DCT car of it's not Pasquino, is it? It's Toro Scategnetto. I do put it on the back position sometimes. I am very famous for often looking at the cars out of the back, more than most actually, because I usually am one of them. So let's obviously what we need. The reason we're staying on the lead lap at the moment is because it's the final lap of the race, and these guys will go in the pits, and then we'll have 4 entire laps of just the back markers. So I'm not forgetting them. I'm just going to. They get their love in a little while. We just want to keep up with the battle of these front runners. Now Nick has closed that gap down to 3.1 seconds. We are only about just over 3 minutes into this lap. There's still 5 minutes to go before they get to the end of their particular stint. But I still think that Jefferson did enough, opened the gap up enough, that Nick was never going to be able to close down on him. So Jefferson leads the way by 2.8 seconds. There is Nick in second. He's already pulled out 8.6 seconds over Nilsson in that TDR Designs car. 1.9 seconds to Paradin for Ready to Race, and then 28 seconds to Bad Omen, who is at the moment lapping Toro Scarinetto. Give it to me. He's actually sandwiched between 2 lapped cars at the moment. One is the DCT ahead, and then it's the other TDR Designs car being driven by it's not in the station again, it's Gecko Racing, and then there he is. They're actually, these two are actually fighting. This is actually a battle between Gecko and Toro. So actually, we will stick with this battle for a little bit. So Gecko is he going to be able to use the slipstream of that car ahead of him, who's not currently racing him, to maybe give him that little bit of a kind of impetus to catch Toro ahead. Toro obviously will want to try and stay ahead of the lapping car as long as... Oh, it went a little bit sideways there. He's about to lap himself, Gecko Racer, because all kinds of wrong it went for... who was it? Bad Omen. Yeah, Bad Omen. It went all kinds of wrong for Bad Omen, and that allowed the Racing Asylum driver in the TDR Designs car, Gecko Racer, to unlap himself. So he's getting off up the road after Toro Scatinato. So that DCT driver is not going to have it all his own way. In the distance there, that's the 911 of the G. I was going to say G-Spot. It's not G-Spot, is it? Yeah, the G-Force. That's the one. The G-Force team. Not the G-Spot team. That's someone else, and that's my video after this one. Right, how is this battle for first? Well, it's 1.5 seconds. Do you know what? I said he wasn't going to catch him, but he may well do just that. This is the battle for the lead of the race on the final lap of this particular stint. Nick he started the race in second, and got past that ready to race car apparently very early on, built up a huge lead. Then the safety car came along, made lots of changes to that order. It closed them up. Then Nick had a little wobble off the racetrack, a little crash, and all of a sudden, back in 5th place he was. And then another safety car scuppered his chances of pushing early doors to get that position back. So he really is now trying to close on Jefferson. He's within 1 second, and they've got the long straight to come. You can't find the G-Spot team. Us men usually have that problem, mate. It's a common issue among men, not being able to find the G-Spot team. That's why we take up sim racing, because oh, a little bit wobbly there. We know where the brake pedal is, and we'll stick with that, shall we? So here we go. Gap is closing. Is Nick gonna steal? Yeah, no, I absolutely know that. Thanks, Ray. I've been asleep. I haven't been in a cave. I'm joking. Sorry, I'm joking. Nick is closing down now on Jefferson. This is going to be an absolute cakewalk. Not a lot he can do about it. Pulls out, which is what I should have done, and I probably wouldn't have 5 bloody children. He does make that move, and Nick regains the lead of this race. I'm not giving him a replay, he can sod off. Jefferson is now in that slipstream, but too close to the end of this race. These two are going to pull into the pits, but it does make for some great racing coming out the other end, because in they come, and they are about to dive back out. Anything when it's for the safety car ended? Yeah, Nick crashed under the safety car and was 5th, and then has just retaken the lead of the race, but the 0.2 of a second separate the top two. Nilsman in 14 seconds back. Parolin just 1 second behind. That's the top 4 already in, and their counterparts will be joining the track shortly. You can find that on this exact same channel with the ever enigmatic Jager. Get involved in that immediately. Like it, subscribe, and send him kisses in the post. Show him some love, man. Show him some love. Bad Omen dives into the pits. Stiggs will be the next of 13.8 seconds, and he'll be in. Now we can focus our attention for the next couple of laps, or next 2 laps, in fact, on these guys here. So we've those front 6. They're on the lead lap. They're away. Ferries out. Gone. Then we go a couple of laps down, and we've got these guys here. So first of all, we've got the CPTL team. That's Octavian. We spoke to Marco, who's going to be jumping in his car. We'll be jumping in his car in a couple of laps' time. We've got In Station Gaming. He is in the forgotten the name of it. Team. Spots Guide. Have you Spots Guide? Don't tell people you're looking at Spots Guide. Make it look like you know what you're doing. That's the 2016 full send car. It's literally written on the wing. If I'd just looked at the back of the car, I could have got that. That's the DCT team. And I know it sounds really unfair that I remember them, but because they race now the series that I broadcast, that's the only reason. And I've been doing it for ages. One of my earliest broadcasts was for Future. So, yeah. Oh, suits you, sir. And that is Gecko Racer taking that position from Toro. As Toro gets it all kinds of wrong. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. I've got two keyboards in front of me and I just hammered the keys on the wrong one. Here we go. So yeah, it just gets it a little bit wrong there, and that allows Gecko Racer to move up into 9th position. So they've still got a couple of laps to go here. There we go. So yeah, so that's Gecko Racer in the 9th spot. And yeah, loads and loads of racing still to be done here as they start lap the Nordschleife portion of lap 14. So still got 2 laps remaining for them. So they are currently running on lap 14. Lap 11, blue flags for him. That's Honor, who is there as that's the G Sport Racing team, and we couldn't find them because they disappeared for a while. But now we have found them, and they've come in for exhibition purposes, having retired early doors. And oh, excuse me, no much sleep. I'm going to go and grab a couple of hours after this before my final stint because I'm tired. I'm an old man. I need lots more sleep now. Yeah, so that is the GTG for G Sport Racing team. 58 seconds ahead of Michelet in the GTSV car. We've lost some cars. We've lost many cars, in fact. We've lost... well, we haven't lost Jefferson. Jefferson's still out there. He's a GTSV. We lost quite early on. We lost the 44 Team MRL racing car, unfortunately. I'm assuming that was to some sort of disconnection. The Team MRL M6, that's disappeared. Oh no, that's not. He's bad Amazon. What are we talking about? We lost. Who else did we lose? Forgotten. Oh, of course, the Project Revolution 911 that was being driven by Dominic Kabinski, who I think came in as a substitute. He's the other car that we lost quite early on. So now the top 5 have gone in and they're off, and their teammates are off and they're racing and they're doing their thing. And if you want to go, if you want to watch top 5, then go away, go and watch, go to the other broadcast, because that's where they are now. That's where Jager is with the top 5. Him and the top 5 are having their little party at their own little Nürburgring in the other lobby. If, however, you are more inclined to support the underdog, then stay the hell here, because not much is going on, to be fair. There might be a battle or two, maybe. There could potentially be one there. Gecko Racer looking pretty darn quick, it has to be said. Poctavian sounds like a really, really cool Roman superhero. Who are you? Don't worry, ma'am. I'm the Poctavian. I'll save your cat from the tree. Currently in 7th position, and yeah, about a lap and a half to go for these guys before they hand over. Gecko Racer. Do you know what? Let's go on board with Gecko. We haven't been on board with Gecko yet. It is 22 seconds to the Poctavian up ahead, and this, to be fair, this car was much further up the field when I went to sleep. and then I woke up and someone had crashed it and moved it a couple of laps down. So actually, I think there was a disconnection, which is why they are a couple of laps down. Because obviously you have to wait. Oh, excuse me, you have to wait for everybody else to go out, and then you get to go. By then, Nick is on another planet somewhere. I wonder if they've managed to retain that lead, or if Jefferson's lot. it's all about Jefferson, of course. No, the GTS V68 car that was running in second. Have they been able to get hold of Nick's lot? The RA guys have been significantly fast. Very, very, very fast. Is it here, you mean with me? No. It's here on this channel, but it's not here with me. I'm going to go and sleep. I'm going to go and stroke my cat. And it's not a euphemism, I'm actually going to stroke my cat. And I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to have a little snooze. I might scratch, and I'm definitely going to have a poo. And then I'll be back for Banner Stint 11 in a couple of hours' time. I wouldn't call it fantastic commentary. I'm just a shouty idiot. I'm basically Lee Evans of GT7 commentating. It's a bloody busy day here at Black Flag Towers, I can tell you that. Obviously one more stint here, what I'm going to do before Ponyboy will see you home to the final stretch. But this evening there is some brand new Formula One action from a newly announced racing league. It's not a new league, it's a very well-known league. It's just a new division of a very, very well-known league. And that'll be here live from 8 PM this evening. So you better be ready for that shizzle. You won't find that on ERF because it's not an ERF event. You'll find that on Black Flag. Yeah. And so there's loads of cool shit going on this week, this coming week at Black Flag. But right now the cool shit is right here. We're on board with Gecko Racer as we're heading down to complete the penultimate lap here at the Nürburgring. I don't know what there's no in it. The Nürburgring. So this is why I don't tackle the corner name. Actually, Joe, shall have a go. Shall have a go. Let's royally embarrass myself. Right. So that's the start. This is the Yokohama S coming up, which is pretty simple. Everyone knows. Everyone can say Yokohama S, which is turn 1 and 2, and then of course the Ford curve, the Dunlop curve, and the Schumacher S. We all know those corners, and we can all say those because all relatively easy names to say. Then you've got the Warsteiner curve. I'm not going to point out the fact the curve is spelled with K, it's spelled with C, but I'll leave off to the gentleman. And the Advanbogen, that of course is part of the GP track as well. And then you've got the NGK chicane, and I love the way that chicane is spelled with an SCH. That is pretty darn awesome. And then of course into, and this is the corner I do remember, it's the Hatzenbach, because it's the same sound you make when you're trying to do some drum and bass beatbox. And that's of course the corner as well that takes you on to Nordsleaf. We'll get there soon. Let's stay on board with Gecko Racer because it's 23 seconds. No one else is battling. I suppose you've got the 1.6 there in station to Toro Scatenetto. Is end station going to catch him? Don't know, he's got a bit of damage. It might be difficult. We'll keep an eye on it just in case. I'll keep an eye on the mini map. Not that it helps much. So this is and then it takes you down into hot chicken. It says hot chicken. Genuinely says hot chicken. It doesn't say hot chicken, but it's close enough. Yeah. So Hatzenbach into hot chicken, which you get from KFC, or there are other chicken establishments available. I'm not even going to bother because I'm going to offend a shit ton of Germans and end up having myself killed, and I don't want to be killed. I quite like being alive at the moment, if for no other reason than I get to watch this shizzle. So, I do want to watch this battle here because it is the only potential battle on the racetrack at the moment, and we've been devoid of a bit of that for large swathes of this stint. If you are only just joining us and you haven't got a clue what's going on, I can tell you this is the Endurance Racing Federation Nürburgring 24-hour race. This is the 9th stint of that race, which means by the end of this we will have done 18. I say we, I mean the collective is in the royal we, not we as in like me, because I haven't done 18 hours. The teams have done 18 hours of racing, apart from the ones that are disconnected, of course. But it has been pretty much 18 hours of back-to-back German shenanigans. We're watching with End Station Gaming, who we thought might be closing on Toro Scatanato, but it's not happening. That is Poctavian, who is currently best of the rest. You can see that the top 6 have already done their exchange. Their counterparts are currently racing over on another batch channel, which is it's this channel, but it's another broadcast completely. It will say exactly what this one does, except it will have a 10 at the end of it. Go and check it out. It's, Jago is your hostess with the mostest for that particular. We brought a replay up, we still got that thing at the bottom. I was wondering. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, but I keep forgetting. I can't deal. That's what I wanted. I can't deal with having to keep removing it, man. I like my overlays. I can just hide it with banners, and then I can write stuff like, character assassinating mums and stuff on it, which I haven't done that yet. So Octavian is still about 4 minutes away. Come on, take time, lads. It's dragging a bit, isn't it? 24 hours is a bit of a long time, isn't it? Can't we do it like a Nürburgring 24-minute? That'd be much more exciting. You wouldn't have to worry about tyres on fuel. I suppose you could put it right up, so you didn't have to worry about tyres on fuel. But yeah, Nick could have that. But if we did a Nürburgring 24-minute, Nick and Clarky could be teammates, and they'd get it done in about 45 seconds. Right, so Poctavian from Gecko Racer from Toro, Scataneto from DCT, End Station Gaming, that's the full send car. They are on their final lap. We've still got to wait like hours for Honor and Midgule to make it home. Top 6 long gone. They're on like lap 12 or something of their next stint. It's not that 12, but I just said it because for comic effect. Oh my god, I'm tired. Is who paused? Is he paused? Let's have a little looky-see. He is paused. Someone's on auto drive. Someone being naughty. You got caught being on auto drive, baby. He is on auto drive. You can see how smooth and slow is the auto drive. Naughty. You're gonna get beaten up in the showers for that after you've gone to prison. You're gonna be locked up. We're gonna throw away the key, and then Bubba's gonna come and join you in the shower and give you a kicking. He's gonna put a snooker ball in a sock and beat you over the head with it for using auto drive. Genuinely, I hate auto drive. I hate people who use it. And it's used for two purposes. You see people that use auto drive because they can't be asked to finish a race, and it's kind of like a silent rage quit. It's that they haven't got the balls to admit they're rage quitting, but they just put it on a pause and then disappear off. And the other thing people use it for is to stop themselves from spinning, to rescue crashes, and that really drives my gears. Crash with dignity, or don't crash. essentially. If you've crashed, just suck it up and accept the fact that you have crashed. Don't be pausing the game to try and rescue you and get you righted faster. It's just plain wrong. Poctavian is going to be the first to go into the pits of this gaggle of drivers, 2 laps behind the lead group, which was Nick and Jefferson and Nilsson and Parolin and Bad Omen and Stiggs, and in comes Poctavian. Finally got rid of him. Been trying to get rid of this guy for ages, and he's finally going to go away. So pleased. I'm not pleased. Good to miss you. Next week, Gecko Racer, another Racer Solo driver. These guys are all over the place. You can't walk. You can't walk or run or step anywhere from stepping on a Racer Solo driver these days. They are everywhere. There is Gecko Racer coming in. His teammate will disappear off out. Next up, 22 seconds down the line, it's DCT Toro Scatinato 58. And he's in the pits. There he goes. End Station Gaming is not far behind. Team Full Send. Or is it Full Send Team? I really don't care at this stage. Too tired to care. Raw Honour. And that RAA, I'm assuming that's Race Asylum Academy. I could be wrong. Let's go with that. It's Race Asylum Academy. RAA Honour. Still got an entire lap to go, as has the pause button Wanderers. Imagine if us commentators did that, just like randomly just wandered off and didn't complete. Should I just play a random stream for something else? And to be fair, I waffled during most broadcasts, so you wouldn't actually know whether it was this one or some other one anyway. You wouldn't even know it was necessarily the same sport. So there we have it. We're nearing the end of this this stint number 9. Stint number 10 is underway, of course, for all but Honour and Michelet, and Honour, of course, for the G-Spot team, and Michelet for the GTSV runners. The other one, because the other GTSV team with Jefferson in it led this race until very, very last minute.com, when Nick from Race Asylum decided he was going to take it back. But it was really, really close for those two when they came in. So just waiting for the 8 minutes for these. Well, there should be 8 minutes for Honour because he's actually driving. God knows how long it's going to take Michelet. He's doing 9-minute laps while he's paused. So he's keeping us waiting a little bit longer. And let's have, where is he on the racetrack? Oh, he's literally just started in the GP section, mate. Yawnicles is what comes to mind. I do really need a top of the coffee. I do really need a wee, and I do really need to think about it very soon. You didn't need to know that, but you're going to. Need to know and being told are mutually they go hand in hand with me, so yeah, really don't care. Just over on my YouTube, just said hello to a few people. Alexis, hello, good morning. Morning Bandit, morning Jay. Oh yeah, Bandit's doing You Got Track Stars this morning, yeah. Awesome. And Bandit, of course, is could we get another winner other than the R18? Yeah, probably. Well, we didn't, but we probably could have done. It just didn't happen today. But it might happen. It might happen in the next stint. Who knows? Anything. I don't know why we're focusing on the one guy that's paused and not giving some love to the guy that's actually driving. Let's do that instead, because he's going to keep us waiting 2 minutes past Honour arriving ceremoniously into the pits. probably more, much more than that by the time we get to the end of the lap, because of how much it slows you down. Gotta be said, despite being back in 11th place on her, it been putting in some really solid laps at the tail end of this race. It's almost as though he's woken up a little bit. 8:02.2. What was that? Well, that was a message about someone starting early. Was that in the station gaming that said that? Well, the thing is, if the teammates started early, the teammates started early, and the stewards will pick up on it, and then they will spank him accordingly. But I think if that happened, then that's more than prison and a beating from Bubba with some snooker balls and a sock. That is wrapping the leather belt around your fists and punching right in the Jesus, really, really hard, and then wagging your finger in a disapproving manner and writing a strongly worded letter, requesting that he is removed from the chess team. I need more coffee immediately, and maybe a sanity check. So, Raw Honor has got most of the corners done. There's probably about 30 or so turns left, 35 or so, before the long blast down to the GP circuit to finally complete that 14 and start the last final lap of the race. So Magillé's still on the track, but his teammate has already started. It appears he's paused because the lights are flashing as they are, and he's going in that kind of paused manner. He obviously paused because you can't type like that if you're driving, just not possible. Paradin has left the room, which isn't helpful. I don't suppose it matters really. You don't have to physically cross the line here. It's a different kettle of fish, of course, for this type of racing. So it is down to just Honor and Magillé, or Magillé, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, just keep running. It's the answer to that. Don't just stop because your teammates come out, because you need to work out how much time to add on to the end, because they'll run where they run. They can once it gets to the end and then you finally do stop Magillé, they can add the time from when they went out to when you actually came in, and either add it as a time penalty, or probably more appropriately is go into the pits and sit there for those 3 or 4 days while they make that timer back up. Am I going to watch to an extent? Probably not. I need. I've got stuff to do. Sort of my morning ablutions and some parenting and stuff. Well, actually, I don't have to do parenting because the kids aren't up, but I might have to. If with a 9-year-old, the rest get up, they can sort themselves out. They're teenagers or adults now. Right, the honours in. That's a lap early. That's a lap too early. This is lap 14. If they're coming in for a pit stop, it's going to work, but they're actually in a whole lap early. They, yeah, far too early. They should have gone straight across the start-finish line and done one more. So, how's this going to work? Or are they just going to allow them to... Oh no, was that serving a penalty or some sort then? Or got in and realised it's not time yet, you've only done 14 laps. Oh shit, I've got to do one more. Don't need that, is something probably going through their mind right now. Magillé is now 3 minutes back. Come on, dudes. did not expect them to be this far behind. TDI Designs designed the Porsche there as well, by the looks of things. I suppose it's just his plugging his chisel on the front of the car, innit? Innit, brethren? So this stint finished with Nick only just in the lead from Jefferson and Nilsson in third. Those three long gone. Couple of laps up already, I would imagine, on in stint number 10. We've got just Honor and Milige left. A couple of people have already left the room, of course. They've finished racing and just disappeared. It's all right for some, they can leave. I have to hang around. And I do have one of my kids coming down the stairs now, and she's looking at me expectantly. Back in 1 second. Sorry about that, folks. Don't have children. They're horrible and they smell. And they take all your money and eat all your food. Right, so we're nearly there. Just a few corners left to go for Honor. Honor will then go in and then his teammate will finally at the other end get to exit the pits. It's been a long wait for them. And then of course Gillet, who's nearly 4 minutes back now because he's been paused for ages, is back there. And it looks like most have disappeared off to the other lobby, but I'm going to see this through to the end because I am dedicated, if that's the word you could use to describe me. Yeah. Thank you to the 7 that have bothered to hang around for whatever reason that is. 7 people supporting Honor and Gillet, or Mijuli, however you want to pronounce it, who is still got 4 minutes behind Honor. Now, it was a lot less than that until he decided to pause his way around the end. If I was one of his teammates, I would be pissed that he has done that, because it effectively takes them out of contention. 2 minutes, you know, it's a gap, but it's a gap that is manageable. But doubling that in the space of a couple of laps because you have paused the game, which is what it appears to have done, is pretty darn shit, in all fairness. For want of a better, there is no other way to describe it. It's just a shitty thing to do. Yeah, watch my language. I'm not going to do that. So Honor has now, Honor comes and Honor has now finished. Congratulations, my friend. You have made it to the end. You win a prize of nothing. You get to rest. You get to go and have a coffee and a smoke and sit down and reevaluate your life choices. We all need to sit down and reevaluate our life choices. This is the AMG Mercedes. It's a good looking car. It's a good looking car. Everyone else is allowed to exit the pit, so the lobby is probably gonna, well actually it won't end yet because they've got 8 minutes to drive around, but it will end before he finishes lap 16. So those that have been hanging around waiting now, just diving out of the pits, getting the cars on the track, and off they will go. It's been a long wait around actually for those drivers that finished. You know, you've got to bear in mind they put a 2-hour shift in. You know, I sit here and talk for 2 hours. These guys have been driving for 2 hours, concentrating on an incredibly difficult racetrack, and then they've had to sit and wait for cars that are, you know, essentially 4 laps behind them. You know, we're not talking. That's not a small amount. That's half an hour, essentially. They've had to sit in the pits and wait for these cars to come round and get to their last lap, so they can get out of the pits and they can finish the lobby off and go and do what they need to do. Now, if they've got another stint up after the next one, they've essentially got less than an hour before they're back in the car again, which hopefully is not the case for them. Hopefully they get a little bit longer to for a bit of R&R. I mean, I essentially don't have that. I think I've got, by the time this is done, I'll have less than an hour before I'm back in the lobby, because the other lobby's been open for an hour already. So yeah, so I'll have less than an hour to get prepared for mine. I've got significantly less to worry about though. So I'm just going to chat rubbish for 2 hours. So I was going to sleep, but I doubt I'm going to get that done. Just because these guys are so bloody slow. Go faster immediately. I will have you killed. Ray, I've just noticed you came into this chat and started talking to the wrong people. Yeah. Just got to show how much attention I paid to the chat, because that was nearly half an hour ago. Assuming you're still here. If you are still watching, you are watching literally one car He's now unpaused. He's now racing at full speed, but he's still got a little bit. That AED needs a safety car for who? Exactly. I think that's an old message. We're going to let this guy finish, and then we're going to. I'm not going to hang around until the lobby are dead. I'm going to go after this guy crosses the line. Gillet, he's in the GTSV. The second of the two GTSV cars. I wonder if, with the popularity increasing of the ERF, and more teams signing up than there are spaces for, if there might be a consideration of a one-team car policy with two teams being available, if there is space for them. The reason being is that if you've got 20 teams want to race and they're all from different race teams, 6 are going to lose out. Now, if you've got 20 teams but everyone's got 2 teams involved, then everybody could have a team in it, and then the 4 best B teams could go in it. I don't know. Listen, I'm not in charge. I don't like organising race stuff. I'm not very good at it, so I let other people do their shit. Right, anyway, we are done. We're finished. That's everyone has finished their stint. Congratulations to Nick, who built up an you say unassailable lead, and then the safety car came in and absolutely pissed all over those strawberries. So it's on to the next one, and I will see you in about an hour's time for stint 11. It's been emotional.